Hello everyone, we are discussing the VRC section of CAT 2020 paper which was given in slot 2. In this video, we will try to solve question number 14 to question number 18 given in the fourth RC passage of the paper. And before we start solving the questions, let's understand the passage. So if we decode the information given in the passage paragraph by paragraph, then we will be able to get a mental image of the passage or a mental map of the passage. So let's understand what the first paragraph says. So the passage begins with two assertions. One is about visual culture and the other one is about study of visual culture. So according to the author, visual culture is defined as what images do to build, maintain, or transform the worlds that we live in. And study of visual culture is the analysis and interpretation of those images and their contribution in shaping the institutions that put those images to work. So this is the difference between visual culture and the study of visual cultures. In the second paragraph, author says that there should be, accordingly, a few concerns of study of visual culture. The first one is that they cannot leave any of the images out. So any kind of imagery can offer up evidence for construction of reality, and they have to study all the images that are available. They cannot be selective. That is the first concern of study of visual culture. The second concern, he says, in the study of visual culture is that they shouldn't restrict themselves to the study of images themselves, but also they should extend their study to visual practice. So, what is meant by visual practice? If there is a work of an artist which is considered to be aesthetically beautiful, then when they have to investigate an artist's work, they have to find out not just the meaning of that work, but what it does to shape everybody's perception of beauty, taste, value, or genius. And then an example is given of Michelangelo or Leonardo and how big their contribution was in shaping the way their contemporaries thought about art. So, this is the second concern. The third concern is to move beyond interpreting the image as a closed and fixed meaning event and instead see it as something that is constitutive of social relations. So, if they study an artifact, then they have to study how the artifact contributes to the construction of a world. Fourth concern that is mentioned in the passage talks about how the scholars have to understand that vision is not just a biological or physiological process, it exists or it becomes meaningful when it is interpreted by social and other cultural interpretive devices that are developed. And lastly, he says that the scholar of visual culture should understand that images are evidence for explanation and they are not just occurring as epiphenomena. An epiphenomenon is a phenomenon that just happens mentally and it does not guide somebody's behavior. So he says that images are evidence of for explanation. They are not just phenomenon which is simply happening and not altering the course of somebody's behavior. It's a fairly difficult passage to read and understand. Now, based on this passage, let's solve the questions given. So, question number 14. Question number 14 says, no amount of social analysis can account fully for the existence of Michelangelo or Leonardo. In the light of the passage, which one of the following interpretations of this sentence is the most accurate? So we know that we will find this information in the third paragraph where he is talking about visual practices. The second concern of study of visual culture is to understand the visual practices rather than understanding only the images. And how to understand the visual practices, the scholars need to ask questions regarding how an artist's work has shaped the interpretation of beauty or art or value or genius of his people. That is why it says that just social analysis of Michelangelo or Leonardo is not enough. Their contribution in shaping the understanding of their people is also to be studied. So let's go back to this option. First one says no analysis exists of Michelangelo's or Leonardo's social accounts. Now, even without reading the passage in depth, we can understand that this is totally irrelevant option. It's there to just distract us. So first one is eliminated. Second one, Michelangelo or Leonardo cannot be subjected to social analysis because of their genius. This is also a distortion of the line given. The statement says no amount of social analysis can account fully. That means it is not enough to understand their genius. Third one says socially existing beings cannot be analyzed, unlike the art of Michelangelo or Leonardo, which can. So this is entirely irrelevant option, doesn't make any sense. This can also be eliminated. Out of elimination, we are left with fourth option only. And let's understand if fourth option captures the meaning of or the context of this statement in the passage. Social analytical accounts of people like Michelangelo or Leonardo cannot explain their genius. Yes, this is what the passage is talking about. And let's understand the option. Option says social analytical accounts of people like Michelangelo or Leonardo are not enough. Their genius can be understood when we see the entire history of how people have associated their work with their own values and their own aesthetics, right? The entire history has to be understood to understand the genius of artists of that grandeur. So this is the option that captures the meaning of the statement given in the question. So this will be marked as the answer. Let's move on to question number 15. So question 15 says, which one of the following best describes the word epiphenomena in the last sentence of the passage? Let's go to the last sentence of the passage. The last sentence says, the scholar of visual culture seeks to regard images as evidence for explanation. So this is what images are. They are not epiphenomena. So epiphenomena we have to understand by eliminating other options if we do not know the meaning of the word already. Okay, so first option says phenomena amenable to analysis. We have to find an option which fits into this contrast, because the contrast is being created here. They should be understood as x and not y. So x is also important. They have to be understood as evidence for explanation, not as y. So this y has to complement what is given in the first part of this contrast. So phenomena amenable to analysis. Now this is something which does not gel with what is given in the first part of the contrast. So first option can be eliminated. Third option, let's see, visual phenomena of epic proportions. Proportions not required, whether they are insignificant or significant, that is not important. Fourth one, overarching collection of images, again doesn't make any sense in the given context. But if we apply the second option, phenomena supplemental to the evidence, so they have to be seen as evidence, not something which is supplemental to evidence. So this makes sense when we put it in the contrast that is developed in the last sentence of the passage. So this will be your answer for question number 15. Question number 16 says, seeing operates on the foundation of covenants with images that establish the conditions for meaningful visual experience. In the light of the passage, which one of the following statements best conveys the meaning of this sentence? Let's go back to that part of the passage where this statement is given. It's you can find this statement in the fourth paragraph of the passage. Maybe let's read a few lines before this sentence in the passage. Vision is a socially and biologically constructed operation depending on the design of the human body and how it engages the interpretive devices developed by a culture in order to see intelligibly, meaningfully. Seeing operates on the foundation of covenants with images that establish the conditions for meaningful visual experience. So basically, what is being said in this statement is There can be vision, there can be seeing, but for that vision to become meaningful visual experience for us, it should it should work on the foundation of covenants. Now covenants are agreements, or in this context we can say connections with images that establish the conditions for meaningful visual experience. So one is simple vision, other one is meaningful vision, and meaningful vision happens when the physiology of vision is combined with the interpretive devices that are culturally developed or socially developed that add meaning to those images. Okay, so this is the background of this statement in the passage. Now let's see which option will make sense. First one, the way we experience sight is through images operated on by meaningful covenants. This is talking about literal experience of sight. We are talking in the passage about adding meaning to the experience of sight. So that meaning is being shifted to covenants. That is distorting the meaning of this option, so this can be eliminated. Second one says sight becomes a meaningful visual experience. Excellent. This is the information that we interpreted from the passage. Okay, so this much is given in the option. Let's check if the rest of the option is also correct. Sight becomes a meaningful visual experience because of covenants of meaningfulness that we establish with these images we see. This is a simplified explanation of the statement that is given in the question. So this can be our answer if we do not find a better option. So let's check third one and fourth one as well. Sight as a meaningful visual experience is possible when there is a foundational condition established in images of covenants. Doesn't make any sense, so third one is eliminated. Fourth one says images are meaningful visual experiences when they have a foundation of covenants seeing them. So this is also not giving you the meaning that the sentence carries. So second one is paraphrasing what is given in the statement. So second will become your answer for this question. Let's move on to question number 17. Question number 17 says, all of the following statements may be considered valid inferences from the passage, except three of the options will be valid inferences and one will not be a valid inference. So that will be our answer. Artifacts are meaningful precisely because they help to construct the meanings of the world around us. This is the third concern where the author says that you have to understand artifacts as contributing to the construction of a world. Okay, don't look at images as closed and fixed meaning events. They are shaping the society or the world around us. So that is given. So first one can be inferred from the passage. Second one, visual culture is not just about how we see, but also about how our visual practices can impact and change the world. This comes from the second concern. The scholars have to scrutinize the visual practices to be able to understand visual culture. So this can be inferred from the passage. Third one says studying visual culture requires institutional structures without which the structures of perception cannot be analyzed. Now the requirement of institutional structures, academies, places where people can sit down and analyze the study of visual culture, that is not mentioned in the passage. Let's keep this option aside and understand the fourth option. Understanding the structures of perception is an important part of understanding how visual cultures work. So this can come from the fourth concern mentioned in the passage, and that's why this is also a valid inference. So the third one, the requirement of institutional structures, is nowhere mentioned in the passage. So this option cannot be inferred from the passage. So question 18 says, which set of keywords below most closely captures the arguments of the passage? So there are four concerns mentioned when somebody has to study visual culture, and the order of those concerns is your answer in this question. So let's see which one makes sense. We do not have to even eliminate other options. We can see the correct order written in option number 1. So imagery is given in the first paragraph, and the second concern talks about visual practices. The third concern talks about shaping of life worlds, and the fourth concern talks about studying of structures of perception. So this is the only option which has all the four concerns mentioned in that particular order. So this will be your answer.